Ha! Ha ha! Never doubted them. Never doubted them one bit. Who here doubted them? Shame on you. Shame on you who, when we talked in Game 3, who doubted this Sixers team? Not me. Not me. I always believed in them. I always did. Oh my God, this game was just so many different goddamn emotions. The first half, it was good. The Sixers came out strong. James Harden, Joel Embiid, the dynamic duo, they're doing everything possible in this game. And then it gets a little sketchy. You close out the half a little bit sketchy. Third quarter comes in, you close that quarter a little bit sketchy. You're thinking to yourself, this game should not be as close as it is. And then can the Sixers just find a way to survive and close it out? No, because the Boston Celtics come back into this game and make everyone's life in the Wells Fargo Center and in the city of Philadelphia a goddamn living nightmare. That's basically the entire summary of that. Freaking Al Horford driving to the basket uncontested for a huge dunk. Then you get so many fouls called in that overtime. Sixers managed to force it. There's so many terrible calls in the overtime. The charge that was called to Joel Embiid, even though it was clearly a blocking foul on Marcus Smart. And then you get the Jason Tatum push off that was not called on Tyrese Maxey, literally shoving his forearm into Maxey's chest. Maxey goes flying like 20 feet, and then it goes in for a three. No whistles at all from the referees. They just sit there and stare as they are taking over the show. And Boston trying to go away with a victory. But then you get in the dying seconds with under 20 left. James Harden, Joel Embiid gets down low, getting double teamed. He finds a wide open James Harden in the corner. Bang! Bang! Three. Sixers go up, and then the Boston Celtics, with like 18 seconds left, they waste the entire time. They take way too long to set up something. Mazzulla does not call a timeout. Maybe a mistake by him there. And then they hand it off to Marcus Smart, who clearly didn't get the ball off in time before the shot timer expired. And the game ends there. He hit the three, but clearly on the replay, clearly during the live action of play, he did not get that shot off. And the Sixers win. They survive. They win in OT, and they tie the series up at 2 games apiece, going back to Boston for Game 5 on Tuesday night. My God, what a roller coaster of emotions, going from enjoyment, going from comfortability, going to, okay, can we pick up the pace a little bit here, to what the fuck is happening, to holy fucking shit, this team is going to lose, they're going to be down 3-1, the season's over, Jesus Christ, to, oh my God, we're crying, they found a way to win. They found a way to win. Everything. You could put every emotion on the goddamn counter. Jesus. My goodness. Sixers win, baby. Sixers win. Welcome back to TTP Sports, everybody. I know that took a little bit too long to get into that, but hey, this game was goddamn bananas. It really was. So, we're going to go through this entire thing. So, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, drop a like on the video. I'm also doing a little bit something different here over the next few days. I'm trying to do like some new things with, setups and everything like that in regards to streaming, so I'm trying to get that set up a little bit here, but I did add a donation link down low with Stream Elements, so it's your choice. You do not have to do it. I am not forcing you to do it at all. It is overly up to you, but there is a donation link you can donate to the channel to help support it and continue growing here forth. Definitely. Like I said, it's up to you. I am not forcing you. That is just an option if you feel like doing that. It would mean so much to me if you did, but like I said, I am not going to force you. So, Sixers win. Game 5. Well, not Game 5, Game 4. Jeez, I'm already thinking way too ahead. Way too ahead. 116-115. James Harden with a go-ahead 3 with 18 seconds left in OT. So many things happening in this game. This was basically the Joel Embiid and James Harden show. They carried the entire goddamn load because literally there was no, like, PJ Tucker showed up for a little bit. Honestly, I thought he was the main reason that the game even went to overtime. He got the huge and one at the end of the fourth quarter to really help this thing go forward to overtime. But besides that, Tobias Harris was nowhere to be found. Tyrese Maxey continues to be frustrating and continues to struggle against this Boston Celtics team. Basically, this team is his kryptonite. And then off the bench, you're seeing George Niang minutes in important parts of the game, and then Boston's just taking advantage of it. I'm like, what the hell are we doing? Because Jalen McDaniels is struggling. He didn't even get into the game today. That's probably the reason why Niang got so many minutes, because Jalen McDaniels has been struggling in this series and hasn't really done anything. Joel Embiid basically playing the entire game. Paul Reed only got 6 minutes in this game in total. D'Anthony Melton was terrible in this game. Just goddamn terrible. 4 fouls, 0 points, no hit shot. He put up 2 shots in this game. He was not good. Basically, the entire bench for the Sixers was not good. Like I said, this was Joel Embiid and James Harden doing everything in their capabilities to do something here to force a series tie to go to Game 5. They did everything in their possibility, and they did that. James Harden, 42 points. Joel Embiid, 34 points. And, for the Boston Celtics, you see Jason Tatum only have, around 2 points going in the half, and then he just completely goes off in the second half. He finished with 18 rebounds in this game. 18. And it felt like, in the first half of this game, as the game was flowing on, it kind of felt like the Sixers were definitely hustling to the ball more. They were getting those second chance opportunities, way more lifelike than it felt like in Game 3. It definitely, but as the game went on, it just felt like they were falling back into old habits, falling back into poor defensive choices, just leaving guys wide open, leaving guys that are just easily allowed to go to the rim, just, breakdowns defensively, and just allowing Boston to do their thing. So many wide open threes, so many easy dunks, so many layups. It was just getting ridiculous at that point, and you were just seeing that lead just creep closer and closer and closer and closer and closer. Like, seriously. Blowing that type of lead in this game, it's shouldn't happen. Should not happen at all. That is unacceptable. But still, I also want to bring up the fact that we always talk about how it feels like, this Sixers team feels different. If this was a Sixers team in past years, they don't win this game. The Sixers team did collapse in this game, but they found a way to stay alive, and they found a way to win on the backs of Joel Embiid and James Harden especially. Your superstars found a way to tie this series up. Your superstars did the job. James Harden stepping up after a very bad Game 2 and a very bad Game 3. Tyrese Maxey is still nowhere to be found. You're constantly seeing him drive to the basket and constantly seeing him getting blocked. He just keeps doing the same things over and over again. And it's just like, Maxey, at this point, you just got to stop attempting that shit because it ain't working. They're just seeing it from a mile away. They're seeing it driving there, and they see it's an easy block. Tobias Harris, he just looks like every time he gets a foul called on him, he's just complaining, and then you see Doc Rivers yelling at Tobias to freaking calm down, stop yelling at the refs. It feels like the refs are getting Tobias out of his game, or, even though I can't even blame that to the refs, it's just, Tobias is just, at some points, is playing very stupid basketball and getting beat when he really shouldn't be. Tobias was good in the Brooklyn series. He's been he's been ugly this series. He has been. Besides Game 1, Tobias has been basically a no-show along with Tyrese Maxey. And this was really the first bad game for D'Anthony Melton off the bench. He was putrid in this game. So it basically, like I said, besides that one moment from PJ Tucker that allowed you to at least force overtime, it was really just James Harden and Joel Embiid. That's basically it. That is basically it from that standpoint. I believe Joel Embiid and James Harden, they combined for, I believe, 76 points. 76 points combined. And then the rest coming from the other guys. They were the entirety of your offense. And I was thinking to myself, at this point, you're going down to the stretch of the game, you're trying to close it out. Just give Joel Embiid or give James Harden the ball. Just give either of those two the ball. No more George Niang. No more forcing the ball into Tyrese Maxey's hand. Enough. Let James Harden, let Joel Embiid run the offense, because clearly they're the only guys that can figure out anything. And there were some moments at the end of the game, too, where Joel Embiid was getting frustrated. He was letting Al Horford get into his head a little bit because Al Horford was getting some blocks on him. You saw PJ Tucker at the end stages at that fourth quarter getting into Joel's ear, getting in, yelling into him, screaming into him to get him back into shape. That's what you need PJ Tucker for, the leadership there. And that's what PJ's specialty is. Gets the guys going, gets their motors back and active. If they do something stupid, he's going to let them hear it. But man, it did not have to go down that route. But you found a way to get the win. You found a way to survive. You found a way to get the win, and that's the most important thing. Oy. Jeez. My heart. Can't take it. Can't take it. It also kind of, felt a little bit, Doc Rivers maybe calling some timeouts here. Boston just going and doing their thing in the fourth quarter. I was literally saying to myself, with the way, this game should not be as close as it was. You should be at least leading by 20. Because Boston in the early stages and even in the third quarter at some points, they were missing shots. They were not getting their shots to fall. And then, the Sixers were not able to take advantage at certain points. And they just kept Boston. They let them creep back into the game. Let them creeping back in. Creep in. And you see that lead get smaller and smaller and smaller. As sooner or later, then Boston takes the lead. Freaking Al Horford and his stupid dunk. My God, that guy pisses me off. Like, seriously, Al Horford driving to the fucking rim. Are you goddamn kidding me? You're letting that doofus, you're letting that fraud do that to you. My God. Al Horford just something. He's not something. He's incredibly goddamn annoying. That's basically it. Where was this in Philadelphia? Ow. Nope. Biggest bust signing in Philadelphia. And then you decide to go back to Boston and do something decent. Nope, can't have any nice things here. My God. Looking at the stat line, James Harden, 42 points in this game. You got game one Harden in today's game. Way better shooting in the paint. 10-foot shotters, floaters, everything possible. He was making his layups. He was putting up shots. Really good from deep as well. Hitting a lot of clutch shots, especially that shot that won you the game, basically. 42 points, 16 of 23 from the field, 6 of 9 from 3, 4 of 4 from the free-throw line, 9 assists, 4 steals, 8 rebounds. James Harden had an extra gear in his game tonight. Now, is it basically going to be either this version of James Harden, or it's basically every game so far? It's this in this series. It's this version of James Harden, or the ugly James Harden. There's never an in-between. There's not the 20 points, 25 points, maybe 10 assists James Harden, and that has not shown up yet. It's either Houston Harden, or it's pure shitty Harden. Can we get the Houston Harden more? Because apparently that's what we need to win this series. Him and Joel Embiid going off, because right now Tyrese Maxey, I am confident in him, even though I've been seeing so many Sixers fans that want to trade Tyrese Maxey already. At this point, Tyrese Maxey, he's a 22-year-old going through the motions in the playoffs. That's basically it from Tyrese. He's got to learn still. He's still very young. He's still very raw. Young guys just don't come into the league and dominate in the playoffs. They're going up against men. Way older than them. Way more baggage on the body. Way more experience. Tyrese Maxey still has to learn. He's still got to bulk up. Even with the Jason Tatum, even though that was an offensive foul on Tatum, Maxey can't be getting pushed off that easily. Like, man's got to hit the weight room. And I think once you finally see Tyrese Maxey bulk up a little bit, get stronger, I think you're going to see a way better version of Tyrese Maxey, because he can be a spark plug, but right now he's just getting pushed all around. Pushed all around right here. This team is his kryptonite. But I don't like seeing Sixers fans already write this kid off. His ceiling is very high. He's still very raw. Very raw. Joel Embiid, 34 points, 11 of 26 from the field, 12 of 15 from the free throw line, 13 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal. Basically, like I said, Joel Embiid and James Harden ran the show. Joel Embiid did struggle in the final stages of the game. Seriously, that goddamn call on Joel Embiid in overtime against Marcus Smart, that was a joke as well. You could clearly see Marcus Smart was still moving his left leg as he was trying to get set for the charge. And the refs just, you review it. I don't know how you don't see that his legs are still moving. Like, seriously, that's just a joke. That's a joke. And especially when that follows up, or when actually the Jason Tatum play follows up that. Like, seriously, 2 back-to-back terrible calls that probably would have costed the Sixers the game. Imagine if the Sixers lost after those 2 calls. This city probably would have burnt down. The Wells Fargo Center would be ashes. The refs probably wouldn't have made it home tonight. It would have been that bad. But still, at the end of the day, you can't blow the lead that you did have. But still, in that moment in overtime, in a big situation, put the goddamn whistles away. You either call it even, or you put the whistles away, and you let the guys play. Jeez. Stupid refs, man. Stupid refs. Tyrese Maxey, 14 points, 6 of 17 from the field, 2 of 6 from 3, 8 rebounds, 2 steals, 1 assist. Tobias Harris, 9 points. Somehow he was a plus 14 in this game. 3 of 10 from the field. He's just getting frustrated and getting nothing to fall for him. 1 for 5 for 3. 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 fouls. PJ Tucker, he got the huge and one at the end of the fourth quarter to help, force overtime. So he was huge in that moment. And then your bench, man. Oh, my God. Niang, he had 9 points. He hit some threes, but he played way too much in this game. Melton was terrible in his 25 minutes, just did absolutely nothing. And Paul Reed was barely playing in this game. Barely. That basically showcased how much you needed Joel Embiid in tonight's game. Basically showed the entire, there. Looking at Boston's side, Jaylen Brown, after a very hot start in the first half of this game, he was kind of quiet down the stretch. 23 points. He did hit some shots, too, in the second half, but overall he was quiet, especially in overtime. 10 of 16 from the field, 3 of 8 from 3. Did not hit any of his shots from the free throw line. Marcus Smart, 21 points, 6 of 15 from the field, 4 of 10 from 3. That's also the one thing I'm questioning, too, at the end of the game. Why are you going to Marcus Smart? Why are you forcing the ball to him? Because it kind of looked, Tatum was on Maxey again. Why isn't Tatum just completely abusing Maxey? Why are you forcing the ball to Marcus Smart in that situation? That's just something that I'm questioning. I don't care that they did that. I thank you that you did that. But in the moment, why are you passing it to Marcus Smart? Marcus Smart is probably a spark plug for the Celtics, but he shouldn't be the guy that you rely on with the game on the line. That's just my honest opinion. Al Horford, 10 points, a couple of threes, and stupid dunks and stupid dances that he does after those shots. Jason Tatum, 24 points after an abysmal first half. He lights out in the second half, 9 of 20 from the field, 1 of 6 from 3, 5 of 7 from the free throw line, 18 goddamn rebounds, 6 assists. Some guys off the bench, Malcolm Brogdon, 19 points, 5 threes in this game. So, basically shooting-wise, Celtics shot 47%, you shot 46%, you hit 13 threes, they hit 17 threes. You basically had the same percentages, basically around even in that aspect. Overall, offensive rebounds, Celtics had more. It just even though it looks even on the offensive rebound standpoint, Boston had 13, you had 12. It just kind of felt like in the late stages of the game, you just got out-hustled again. So many blocks for Boston at the same time. They had 12 blocks in this game. Scored 12 points off turnovers. Boston had a lot of fast break points in this game. Points in the paint were even. Hey, blowing a 16-point lead, man. That can't happen either. In a huge game, you just can't be blowing a 16-point lead. You got the win, and that's the most important thing. And please, can you draw some goddamn momentum? You made it a best of 3 now. You made it a best of 3. Now you have to do the job once again. You got to win a game in Boston. You got to win Game 5 in Boston. You can't go back to the Wells Fargo Center down 3-2. I need a win in Boston. You need to be back home Game 6, up 3-2 with a chance to go to the third round. You need to be up 3-2. We need James Harden again. We need Joel Embiid again. and we need someone else to step up because Tyrese Maxey hasn't done it. Tobias Harris hasn't done it. D'Anthony Melton was quiet in this game. We maybe need D'Anthony Melton again. We need someone else. We can't rely on George Niang. You can't rely on those guys. You need someone either of Tobias or Tyrese Maxey to step up along with Harden and Embiid. Because Harden and Embiid, it barely squeaked out this win. You really need something from Tobias. You really need something from Maxey. Because Harden and Embiid, they picked up the slack tonight. It's got to be better from the other guys. Specifically Maxey and Harris. It's got to be way better. Got to be way better. My God. I did see stuff from the end of the game. Doc Rivers talking about the push off from Jason Tatum. What else? Trying to see anything else here from Doc Rivers or anything like that. Harden saying, I just want to win. It was a do-or-die game for us. Yeah, if you lost this game going back to Boston, this series was over. If you lost this game. Joel Embiid, even after having a really solid game, he said in the postgame, he said he had a terrible game. He says, I was terrible tonight. I've got to be better. I will be better. Seriously. Dude puts up 34 points, gets you almost 14 rebounds, and said he had a terrible night. Like, seriously, how can you hate this guy? How? Then you see that, the entire thing with James Harden inviting that student from one of the school shootings over. That was a nice moment to see there from Michigan State. That was a great moment. Maybe that's something that also sparked James Harden in this game, playing with a purpose there too. So that was great to see. Joel Embiid says his goal is to go to Boston and win. He would be better. Man, Joel Embiid sounds determined right now. Yeah. I think right now, if you get this version of James Harden in Game 5, you will win. If you get this version of James Harden in Game 5, you will win. We need to see this James Harden consistently to win. That's the purpose here. We need to see it. Trying to see if there's anything else here from Doc Rivers. There we go. Doc saying James was James tonight, Joella was Joella tonight, Tyrese was not Tyrese Maxey tonight, and that's why Tyrese was not a factor into the game, in my honest opinion. He was not good. Yeah, talking about the push-off. Ay. But yeah, you got the win, and that was the most important thing. Trying to see anything else here before we go to the hotline. No, let's go to the Anytime hotline. You can leave those at 215-839-9885. Leave your thoughts and opinions on games and everything like that. You can also utilize the YouTube live feed. It's your preference at the end of the day. It does not matter to me. I am giving you options. So, let's go to the Anytime hotline. Sean, what do you have to say about the Sixers win?
Wow, what a way to end it. I'll start this off the same way I started off the last video, or the last call, which was, there's so many ways you can take this game. Because for a while there, I was saying to myself, if you're Boston, even if you lose this game, you still have to feel encouraged. Number one, you did what you had to do ultimately. You got the win in Philly. And two, this is a game that you should have been run out of the barn by early in the third quarter, and you're still in it and you're winning late. But then the way it ended, the Sixers overcame. The non-push-off on Jason Tatum is a call you can't miss. To lose a game like that would have been a miscarriage of justice. But the basketball gods have a way of evening things out, and Smart's shot was definitely after the clock expired. Sixers get the win. Can they carry that to Boston? I mean, it's basically now a best of three. You're back to square one. You got to get a win in Boston. It'll be interesting to see if they can take the momentum from this game and muster up a way to get yet another win in Beantown on Tuesday night.
Yeah, I like that energy there, Sean. Yeah. I think you need to find a way to build the momentum off this win. You need, basically, if you don't get this version of James Harden again the rest of the series, you're not going to win. Because right now you can't rely on Tyrese Maxey. You can't rely on Tobias Harris. Joel Embiid can't do everything by himself, especially when James Harden has an off night. You need this version of James Harden every single game the rest of the way. Or even if you get, 25 points, 12 plus assists from James Harden, that means another guy needs to step up. That means you need Tyrese Maxey to show the fuck up. That means you need Tobias Harris to hit shots and stop complaining to the refs. Maybe D'Anthony Melton goes off again. But you need the good version of James Harden the rest of the series, because you know what Joel Embiid is going to give you. He's going to be the presence down there. You know what he's going to give. It's what's around them that's going to show up. We need this version of James Harden the rest of the series. Even though 40 plus points every single game from James Harden is not sustainable. It's not, especially at his age. But you need the good version of Harden, one that's confident with shooting, one that's not afraid to let it fly, and he's able to hit his shots. And then the rest will fall. If you get this version of James Harden again in Game 5, you're winning that. You need this James Harden consistently. Bottom line. Bottom line, you need this version of Harden. So, Game 5 will be Tuesday night at 7:30. See, back in Boston, if this Sixers team can find a way to steal another one in Boston. We said this was a 6-7 game series for a reason. Been a lot of sucker punches. Doc Rivers described it as a bar fight. We just got to keep throwing haymakers. Tonight was a haymaker. Game 1 was a haymaker. And then Boston hit back in Game 2 and 3. You got to find a way to keep getting those punches through. And keep riding. Keep standing. Keep going all day. James Harden, we need you Game 5. Joel Embiid, we know what he's going to give us, especially on one knee. We need Harden. We need this Harden consistently. I know 40-plus points is not sustainable, but at least 30. I need at least 30 from Harden on Tuesday. I need that. If I can get 30 from Embiid, 30 at least from Harden, I think you're in a good spot to win, but then you need another guy to at least put some production on the board. Whether it's Maxey, whether it's Tobias, whether it's Melton. You know PJ's going to be his leadership role type of guy. Maybe he hits a few threes. That's basically it there. Bench right now you can't rely on, in my honest opinion. You can't rely on George Niang. Jalen McDaniels has been a no-show. It feels like he is in the doghouse, Sean. It kind of does. It kind of does. Scott's saying, don't worry, I'm back to breathing. Good win. It was a much-needed win, definitely. Mighty Mouse, how you doing, man? Without a doubt, you go to the superstars to win the game. Yep, exactly. You go to the superstars. I think Boston going to Marcus Smart, even though he did hit the shot didn't get off in time. I think that's you have to go to your stars in that situation. Smart's a good player. He's not the guy that should be taking the last shot of the game with it on the line, in my honest opinion. Good day. Phillies win. Sixers win. Can the Flyers compete the triumphant tomorrow? Hopefully they can. I will be live streaming the draft lottery tomorrow. I will be. Probably like around 7:30, maybe around 8 o'clock when it starts. We'll definitely, go as it's live. I know there is a game tomorrow, I believe, at like 8:30. So I'm assuming the draft lottery is just going to take that entire half hour. They're going to drag it out as long as they can. So yeah, I'll definitely have that live stream up tomorrow. Phillies did get a good win today too. I was there. Had a good time. Finally, they got a win. Schwarber, of course, when he gets moved down to the 5 spot, he hits a home run. Go figure. But yeah, good day all around. Got the win. Now you got to move to Game 5. Got to win now. Good, I hate the cry button. During the lottery. Oh, God. Yeah. I'll be live tomorrow during the lottery, don't worry. Hopefully. Maybe I'll have the new setup that I'm doing for this layout of the stream. Maybe I'll have it up by tomorrow. Maybe I won't. I got to do some tinkering tomorrow afternoon to set up everything, maybe. I got the donation link set up. I just want to see if I can get the new layout set up. Make it a little more cleaner. You know what I mean? So, it's going to do it for tonight, everybody. Sixers get the huge win. Let's see what they can do in Game 5. So, don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Don't forget to drop a like on the video. Don't forget to check out everything in the description. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We've been going up steadily ever since we hit 700. Let's get closer and closer to 800. And then when we get closer to 800, we get closer to 1,000. So, it'll do me a great service. Hit that subscribe button and also use the code TTPSPORTS, $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. Great deal. Do not pass it up. Thank you, everyone.